Mic check, mic check. Good morning. Give me 1 second. Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Who we got in here? Pravina, welcome in. Andrew, hello, hello. Brandon, Vinkata P, welcome in. Maria, welcome in. Both Marias, too. Orpheus, welcome in, hello. All right, let's start today by saying this, and this is just a personal choice. I'm not trading today. I haven't looked at the charts, but I'm not going to trade today. I've started to kind of go back to my roots of not trading on Fridays and taking Fridays for myself. Plus, it's the Friday before a long weekend. So my guess is a lot of people would just want to take advantage of being off work on Monday. That being said, I don't think that I would expect, if you are trading, I don't think that I would expect to see large volume in the market. I mean, it could happen, right? You could get big moves. Anything could happen, but I just wouldn't expect to see big things happening, just because it is the day before a long weekend. But yeah, so with that being said, I'm not trading live today because I'm not going to be trading today. So I'm still here for the watch list review for you, and when it comes to finding your trades, just make sure you're following the rules. For those of you who are Discord members, you know what the rules are. You know how we trade. You know how we take our entries. So, just be confident in the plan that you set, and then make sure you follow your plan to a T, whether that's a win or a loss. All right, we're going to start with SPY. So we're on the 5-minute time frame here. What makes the most sense to me today is just to look for new all-time highs on SPY. I mean, we could go long at 649 on the break of the PDC and the red to green move, but just above 649, you've got that all-time high that was printed yesterday at 640. Excuse me, 649.5. So SPY, we're going to go long above 649.5. That'll be the analysis for that. Since it is a gap down this morning, usually on gap downs, I like to look for a continuation sell-off. We've got a recent uptrend trend line that we can draw on SPY, and confirmation for us on a break of that uptrend would actually be a break of yesterday's low of day, which would mean a short level placed at 645.5. Those are two fairly conservative levels for SPY. If you would like to set something more aggressive, you can. I don't think I would go any more aggressive than 649, but you could move the short level up $1. If you think that this is going to sell, you can move that short level up $1. But just be mindful, if you do that, you're going to have potential support at yesterday's low of day. You see that? So I think the safest way to approach this might just be a little more conservative with both levels today. 645.5 on the short, 649.5 on the long. Now, I did look at the chart for NVIDIA because this was already pulled up when I opened up my Thinkorswim. Benny, Andre, Levan, welcome in. NVIDIA, okay, so had earnings, right? And this is kind of confusing because it sells off initially after earnings, but then gaps up, right? Well, it doesn't gap up, but recovers the sell-off. So it sells off, recovers the sell-off, and then sells off again, and then recovers the sell-off, and then sells off again this morning. So there's a lot kind of being digested here with NVIDIA. I think that we probably just look for lower lows given the sell-off this morning. There was some news out on Alibaba that I saw. Let me make sure that this news that came out today. But the news was that Alibaba has developed some sort of AI chip to fill the NVIDIA void. And so Baba, maybe that came out during earnings, is up right now. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Alibaba creates AI chip to help China fill the NVIDIA void. Chinese chip companies and AI developers are building up their arsenal of homegrown technology backed by a government determined to win the AI race with the U.S. Alibaba was one of the biggest customers of American AI chip leader, but now of NVIDIA, right? But now it and other chip designers are filling the void left after NVIDIA ran into regulatory barriers to selling its products in China. This is not good for... I'm not saying, sell the stock, but I'm just saying this is like, it's a competitor now. And, Baba goes from a customer to a competitor. That's not good for business, is it? So I think it's probably a mix of that plus the earnings that was already sold off initially that makes me feel more bearish on NVIDIA today than bullish. So we're going to look for a short below $177. Now, since it is a gap down this morning, I'm just going to be looking to take this long for a red to green move on a reclaim of that green line. That's going to be your previous day's closing price. So that'll mean a long idea about 180.5 there. Not any earlier than 180 and maybe no later than 181. All right, let's see what else we have here on the focus list. Yes, Google. Yeah, Google's at the all-time highs, isn't it? Miles, welcome in. Yeah, Google was a solid run yesterday, solid runner. To be quite honest with you, just where it was opening at, I don't know that I would have... Man, I don't know that I would have put that on the watch list. And if I did, it would be a long above 208.5 probably, or maybe like 209. Either one of which worked. This would have been a really nice trade, but I just didn't think it had the power to break out like that and get to the all-time high and then break the all-time high and then continue to run. I had no idea. But what that does is it puts it on radar for us going into today. Now, it is a gap down this morning, though it's not a super significant one. Google, with the power that it made, with the power move that it made yesterday, if it makes just half of that move today, you should be fine with your profit margin here. So long above 212. Google will be a long above 212. Let's do a side chart for this for right now, because it's not directly in play, but it could be in play. We'll come back to that and move it around if we feel like it gives us more opportunity than something else. Welcome in, welcome in. If you're just tuning in, we are building out the watch list together for today's trading day. Just a reminder, I've already told the early folks, but I'm going to tell you too, I'm not going to be trading today. So with that comes no live trading. I'm not going to be live trading either because I'm not trading. So I'm not going to be taking any trades in my personal account, not going to be taking any trades in the challenge account. I'm just here to do this review with you. I'm going to post the watch list for you. And then from there, you make the decision if you want to trade today or not. If you're brand new to the Discord server, you might feel bummed out that I'm taking a day off. I get it, but there's a ton of stuff that you could still do. You can navigate yourself through every channel in the Discord server, get familiar with it. You could go through that course on WAP if you haven't completed that yet. So go through that. It's a long weekend, and the weekend is the best time to get some study done. So there's plenty to do outside of just one live trading session. Monday's a holiday, by the way, if you don't know. So we have a long weekend coming up. So I think that a lot of people, a lot of traders probably are doing the same thing that I'm doing, which is if we get a Monday off, take the Friday off too, because then you get an extra long weekend. And usually on the day before long weekends, it's like a travel day for anybody taking any sort of like Labor Day vacation. Okay, next one on our focus list is Meta. Meta. Why was this on our list? Let's remind ourselves. Okay, so yesterday where Meta closed, it actually looked like this was a nice solid downtrend trend line. It was going to break that downtrend trend line and run. That's what I thought might happen. Otherwise, there's a gap under 731. The problem with this trend line break is that it's the gap down. The gap down's the problem. The gap down is the problem because it puts this way down here and the breakout point is way up here. So the issue is now Meta needs to climb back through all of this resistance, the pre-market highs, the previous day's closing price, the prior day's high of day at 753, and then continue to run for us to profit. It just does not feel very likely to happen. So I'm going to put this on the watch list as a placeholder for right now. We'll say Meta over 753, but this is probably a C- setup. This is not something that, unless it recovers before market open. I mean, there's still time, right? We still have 40 minutes here. I mean, if it recovers, it's fine, but no, the gap down pulls it out of play. Apple, next one on the list. Okay, this looks much better. So this for sure will make the main chart watch list. Apple it did pull back with the rest of the market, it seems, but it has made more of a recovery move. It's back to break even. So basically a flat close, flat open, flat close. I like what this is presenting with the breakout move midday yesterday, and then this kind of looks like a bull flag to me, and we can extend that into today's price action. So all we're looking for is going to be a continuation out of this. Should be a long idea. Oh man, you could go aggressive on this. You could go long at 233, but 233.5 is going to give you a safer entry. 233.5 on Apple, just a true break of yesterday's high of day is going to give you the better entry here. So we're going to say looking for, let's put it on the list. We'll say Apple long above, what we say, 233.5. And we'll say just looking for higher highs. If I can spell higher highs following yesterday's midday breakout move. Yesterday's midday breakout move. Yeah, I mean, Apple's been kind of on a little run here recently. The price action's not been super clean, but it has been making higher highs. Resistance on the daily. It's nearing, yeah, it is nearing it, 235 roughly. So be mindful of that. You do have potential resistance at 235 on Apple. But above that, this thing's, it's got some clear room to make some moves. Okay, I like that pick. Boeing, next one on our focus list here. Boeing, so the analysis doesn't change from what we've been looking for the past 2 days. We're still watching for a break of $237. So we'll put this as a side chart. Boeing over 237. This is a side chart because Boeing usually, it doesn't always have the best spread on the options chain. It's still tradable, but sometimes that spread could be a little wide. But sometimes when it gets momentum, it can tighten up and be a really nice mover. INTC. This one to me is just, this formation is so tight on the daily. Look at how, I mean, this feels like today is going to be the day where this makes a move, either up or down. This formation is so tight. So back to the 5-minute time frame, the gap down almost makes me want to say potential short idea. But maybe it does reverse. So do we straddle? I think we straddle there. Just straddle the majority of price action from yesterday because of how tight this is getting. You know, basically on the next lower low or on the next higher high, I feel like this is a breakout, right? So we add INTC to the list, and I think the levels that we just roughly set are going to work. So long above 25 and short below 24.5. Long over 25, short below 24.5, and we will say there's a pennant pattern shaping up, or shaped up rather, on the daily time frame. And today we are looking for, we'll say, a directional decision, because this could go either way. Just because it's a bull pennant, or if it looks like a bull pennant, doesn't mean it has to break out. So we'll just say looking for a directional decision outside of this pattern. So we're neutral on INTC until or unless it makes a higher high or a lower low. I'd be leaning more towards the lower low given the gap down, but that's all we have to go off of right now. Hood. All right, Hood has been, so it had this big sell-off and then an inside day, which is very typical of something after you get a big move. So anytime you get like a major, you see it over here too, right? You get a major move up, and then this is what we would call an inside day. This would also be an inside day where you don't see the stock make a higher high or a lower low. It's just stagnating to consolidate to build the base for the next leg up or down. So this is a big sell-off day followed by an inside day, which means that we look for a continuation sell-off going into today. It's one thing and one thing only, a short below 102. That's it. That's the only thing that we look for here. Just lower lows to get us outside of the inside day from yesterday. Make sense? So we'll go Hood below 102. Yeah, we'll probably wind up taking Meta off the list. All right, let's check Amazon. I think we might even add Alibaba too. Yeah, this is a good setup. Yesterday gave us such a dirty fake out early on. I hate that for us because this did wind up moving really nicely later on and right off of 230. Also, this is the move I was looking for yesterday on Amazon. It just took an initial fake out and a re-break to go. And this, by the way, is a cup and handle. Here's your cup. There's your handle. Here's your breakout. So if you don't see it, I'll draw it for you. So cup, handle, breakout. Okay. Yeah, it's got to be just one thing. So, well, no, actually, we could go aggressive with this. It would be risky. So a lot of times the breakout point or breakdown point from a pattern is going to be a hidden level of resistance or support. And so the peak of the pennant here that broke down into the end of day is right at 232. So we could go long at 232 under the assumption that it's just going to keep going. And then we risk off of, you can risk off of the PDC. That's how I would trade this, I think. Otherwise, the only other option here I see, if we're rounding, is long above 233, which is more conservative and could work, but I mean, it's also conservative, right? So you'll get the better entry down here. Dang, I think we go aggressive on this. Yeah. So no short level, right? I really don't care. I mean, I guess I'd place it at 230, but I really don't care to trade it short under 230 because I'm not trying to trade in all of this mess. Like, where's the free room to run? Is the free room to run top side or is it down here in this chop? It's not down here, I'll tell you that. So there's no short level. It's the support is defined. The resistance is defined. 230 is the level. But I'm not going to trade inside of that chop, right? And I wouldn't ask you to do that either. So I'm just going to omit that. No short level, only long. We're going to go aggressive with the long at 232. So say Amazon long over 232. And it's just simple. It's just a continuation watch. Continuation watch following yesterday's midday break and run over the 230 resistance. Yeah, looks good. So Meta comes off the list then. I don't think that we keep that on the list. And let's roll through. Maybe do we add Alibaba? Maybe we do. It's a post-earnings trade idea. Seems like, they're making their own chips now, which has been a hot thing. So it could be long above 129. But then you do have to consider the extension. Let's roll through our charts first. All right, so what I'm looking for here when I'm doing this is anything out of the ordinary, anything that does not look like anything else. So something crazy like a gap up or a gap down like that, right? Like that looks very different from everything else this morning. It has been a choppy week, yes. Yeah, it's been terrible. It's been really tough to make anything. I'll be honest with you. We've been taking good trades. I haven't been taking my profit. MU looks good for a possible continuation, but this I would probably just put in the category with, all these other chip stocks. Cat gapped down this morning. Ulta gapped up. But yeah, it's not been a really. So the week has been somewhat okay. It's been mid. I'll say that. It hasn't been really great. It hasn't been the worst that I've seen. It's been pretty bad, though. But there still have been, this is AMD. I'm just going to clean this up. There has been profits offered on trades that I've been taking. My problem, if I go back and if I could critique myself and say, how could I have made this week as good as I possibly could have, it would have just been taking my profits at 10%. That's the simple answer. Because I was entered into trades where I did not take my profit when it was at 10%. I don't know if I'd say I was getting greedy. I don't think I was getting greedy. I don't think it's a big ask to look for more than 10%. But I was just trying to follow my strategy, and this week has not been very favorable to my strategy, and so I have to, I needed to do a better job at recognizing that and adjusting. So if I had to give myself any sort of constructive critique on the week, that would be it. I don't think I've been taking bad trades. A couple of times I've cut some trades actually that really saved me, but just trying to hold out for more in a market that's not giving it is not working. A firm is gapped up. You said SoFi is gapped up with it? Yeah, I don't really trade SoFi. I don't even think it's on this list. We'll look at it, though. I think we rock with what we got. I'm pretty sure that we have picked some really good setups that offer variation and potential. Yeah, so this, I probably wouldn't touch it until a break of 26.5. Just seeing this right off the bat, this looks like it makes pretty good moves. But yeah, this is definitely resistance, 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 resistance. There's nothing here for me until it gets above that. And then you're looking at, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's all it is. This actually is a pretty good setup here. What is your all-time highs for this? 28? Oh, shoot. Is that actually? So this is not far off from all-time highs? Oh, this is actually a really good setup here. I wouldn't be surprised. Dang, yeah, that's a good, because your all-time high is there, right? So your profit margin from here to there is like 7%. This actually is a really good setup. Yeah, SoFi over 26.5, I'd be watching it. Sure. Very nice. Okay, let's roll through our list and make sure we've got everything that we like. So let's go SPY. First one on the list, 5-minute time frame. Levels look good. Short below. Okay, yep. By the way, if you're tuned in late, this stream is available for you to play back from the beginning once I end it. So if you feel like you've missed something, you haven't, you can just go back and rewatch the stream. NVIDIA levels look good. Yes, yep. Looks good. Apple, yep, looks good. INTC, yep, looks good. Amazon, yep, we're going to go aggressive there. Google, looks fine. It's not the best setup, though. I wish it was closer to 212 right now. Boeing, fine, looks good. And then Hood is going to be our hedge short idea. Yeah, great. Everything looks good. So here is the full watch list for today if you want to write it down, or maybe you've just been taking notes this whole time. It's fine. All right, good luck today. I hope that you all go out there and slay the market and go make a ton of money. If you're trading, stay safe. Remember, if you're trading the same day expiration contracts, you don't need to be sized all the way up to make good money. So mitigate your risk with all that volatility by sizing TF down. You just gotta. It's not always about how much you can make, but how much can you keep? How much can you keep? All right. Just a reminder. Last time that I'll say it, I am not trading today. So please plan your trades, trade your plan, and manage your risk. I do not want to hear about anybody blowing accounts when I get back to work on Tuesday. If you blow your account, you're not doing anything right. If you ever put yourself in a situation to blow your account, you're not doing anything right. So don't do it. All right, live to trade another day. We will see you on Tuesday, actually Monday, when I get back to work. Please enjoy your long weekend. Take care. Good luck today. Stay safe if you're trading. Hope you make a ton of money. Thank you for your time, and I hope that the watch list review has helped. We'll see you next week to continue the $5,000 account challenge.